Welcome to Fellow Student, where there are no teachers, only fellow students. The fellow student ethos is that you only ever need to learn one thing, and that is how to learn. Once you know that, everything else is just practice. In the age of information, the luxury problem that we now face is the behemoth of data availability. There is a seemingly limitless supply of information and little time to process it. We are expected to construct a body of knowledge along with the tools to build that body of knowledge, and we often just end up reinventing the wheel. We have gone from the everyday people of society not knowing a word to read, and let alone learning how to write, to having the Library of Alexandria and then some at the end of our fingertips in a very short period of time. The challenge today is that we have yet to discover an easier way to learn. Most of us, at least, stand in the shadow of the internet. We have yet to discover the tools to align method of learning, with our desired outcomes. We have yet to discover how to identify what is useful and disregard what is not, based on what we are looking for. And ultimately, we have yet to discover that we can learn anything that we choose to learn, and that most of the time, the topic, whatever it may be, is not as difficult as is generally perceived. Enter fellow student. A fellow represents someone who is in the same situation as you, and the student represents someone who is learning, and by my estimation, that equates to everyone. There is a way to obtain a coherent understanding of any topic within a fraction of the time typically thought. It's just that most of us have been raised through the ranks of a schooling system, so we are not aware of it. The subject of learning is a mysteriously absent figure in our schooling institutions. Schooling, for the most part, executes a kind of step lock within a curriculum, learning one thing after the other, and thus taking a substantial amount of time before subjects can be considered learned. By using the techniques shared here at Fellow Student, we can identify first and foremost what we actually need to know based on our own desired outcomes, i.e., what is useful. Then we proceed to absorb the useful information in a manner that is congruent with how our brains and our minds function. Here, our prime focus is on approaching challenging subjects, using the tools of learning, working with not just modern methods, but historically well-established ones as well. The main tools consist of memory and liberal arts frameworks and techniques. If you want to find out more about these techniques, then watch this space for further videos. And if I have made the video by then, I'll link it to the top right, or wherever that might be. There is a congruent way to learn anything that comes naturally to us once we practice our minds in the ways of the method. From here, we can understand most things and quickly adopt new knowledge on any topic we choose. We know this through scientific observation via the fields of neuroscience, that specific memory techniques stimulate large areas of the brain. When looking at global competitions, it is clear that we have established the best memory techniques. And lastly, through the lens of history, we have reference to the methods taught for many hundreds of years to those considered the founders in their respective fields. Here, we specialize in the assembly of all things learning, as learning is the skeleton key subject by which the user may unlock the gate and gain access to all other subjects. We illustrate the ability to embellish the fellow student's mind with the capacity to learn anything that they choose, in an elemental, efficient, and effective way. So remember, you only ever need to learn one thing. Once you know that, everything else is just practice. Thank you for watching. If you like the sound of what this content has to offer, then please hit the like button and subscribe.